Hello and welcome to the Boomer podcast. Today we are here to talk about the UEFA Champions League semi-final preview, and of course we'll be reviewing the quarter-final matches as well. I have Anahat joining me. Welcome on the show, Anahat, once again.
Hi, Will. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and of course, we are here to talk about thriller of contest first. Let's talk about one team which has surprised many across the world. It is VREL, isn't it? Because we didn't give them a chance even in the preview of the quarterfinal, but they have seemed to surprise everybody. They've taken on two European giants now, Juventus and Bayern Munich, and taking on Bayern Munich in Allianz Arena is not a mean task at all. Tell me about it, Anahat. What did you make of that team?
Yeah, I think Villarreal really surprised all of us. Even in the previous video, we had expected Villarreal to get crashed out against Bayern,
Yeah,
but they showed great character. And as I said earlier, Emery has built a fantastic team. And
yeah,
but I did not expect them Bayern. Actually, I did not expect Bayern to throw the game like they did at the
right.
Allianz Arena. I mean, 1-1 against Villarreal. I think they should have done better, surely. But again, Villarreal defended really well and did really good to contain Bayern Munich.
Yeah, quickly let's review another match which went and happened in Madrid. It is not the Real Madrid; it's the Atletico Madrid versus City clash. It was a clash where you felt like there was a lot of intense physical clash. It was not just on the field; it even carried on off the field with what happened with Grealish and Savage, etc. But let's talk about that game because you saw a different version of Pep. Pep was trying to adapt to Simeone's tactics by absolutely parking the bus and not letting any space for Atletico. Atletico in the second half of the second leg was trying to press City, but they made sure that they had a very strong defensive setup out there and made sure that they did not concede at all. What did you make of that tactics of Pep and is also his
Absolutely.
adaptability?
I think City did really well against Atletico. They beat them at their own game, and in the end, you could
Yeah,
see how the City players were also wasting time, and Simeone
yeah,
seemed like a really frustrated figure. But
yeah,
that's what Atletico do, and but Atletico, all credit to Atletico in the second leg, they were really fire. Like they got really unlucky. They hit the post. They could have had a penalty. They had that waved off, but that was a questionable decision again. But Atletico, the second leg, I think they really took the game to City. The game should have
yeah,
gone to extra time. That would have been only fair. But again, Guardiola showed his masterclass and he beat Simeone at his own game. And now we have
yeah.
City through the semis. So yeah, and I think that game as well, is a big one to watch out for. The
Right.
City Madrid game. Anything can happen in
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, we will definitely talk about City versus Real Madrid, but let's talk about Real Madrid versus Chelsea game, which just got over. That was one hell of a game, isn't it? Because everybody expected Chelsea not to even come back. Even Tuchel said after the first leg that they're not in it at all. But then the way they showed hard to come back, being after being 3-1 down to make it 4-3 in the aggregate. But then from there on, it was Rodrigo's one brilliant goal, which Modric and only he could have put that ball in for Rodrigo there. What do you make of them? And you think Chelsea would actually be very pleased with the kind of effort they put in?
Of course. I think Chelsea tried really well, to make the turnaround. I mean, to be 3-0 up against Madrid is not a joke. But they got to that
Yeah,
position and then they choked in the last 10 minutes. But what a ball by Modric
yeah,
from the out of
yeah,
his, like from the outside of his boot to
yeah,
Rodrigo. And that finish from Rodrigo. Then the first half extra time, they looked really likely to score. And it was Karim Benzema, that man again, who owned Chelsea in the first leg. He was back in the
yeah,
second leg again, and he
yeah.
scored that decisive goal that took Chelsea to the finals. Sorry, took Madrid to the finals. So I
Right.
think it was a mad turnaround by Madrid and top character shown, and Chelsea choked in the end again. But yeah, I mean they had the
Yeah.
game, but again,
Yeah.
that's why Real Madrid have so many Champions League titles under their name again. They're the
Kudos to
highest.
Madrid. Now they're pulled into another semi-final, and in European competitions they are a giant. Now let's actually preview the games what we have in hand. Of course, we have spoken briefly about Liverpool versus VRVL, but let's delve into a little bit much more. You reckon that Liverpool can they go into the final for possibly the second time in 3 years?
Absolutely. I think Liverpool, as I said, they're really going to suffocate Villarreal, and Villarreal won't be able to defend their lines like they did against Bayern because the way Liverpool play diagonal passes and, really quick
Yeah,
on the counter as well with Alexander Arnold and Robertson, funding each other all
yeah,
across the pitch. And now they even have Luis Diaz
Yeah.
up in the firing ranks. So I think Liverpool will definitely overcome Villarreal, and this will be the end finally for
Absolutely.
Emery's run, which was really good. Again, I'd like to mention that. But yeah, I think this time Liverpool will definitely go through.
Yeah, let's talk about the City versus Madrid, guys. That's going to be a mouth-watering one, of course, because it's a two giants coming up against each other. You saw in 2020 when City got the better of them in the round of 16, but now it's a different Madrid side. Karim Benzema is in red hot form. For City, they're definitely missing a striker. You feel it sometimes, but sometimes you don't because Pep has been too good in managing his false nine rules with Foden, Grealish, and also with Sterling at times. You reckon now Karim Benzema is going to be the player who's going to make the difference between the two sides?
This game is really, really hard to predict, firstly, for anyone. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a game of football. It's a very 50-50 game. Both teams are in top form. They're in the race for the title in their respective leagues. So, it's a really, really tough one to call. But again, I think the number nine could make a difference. But
Yeah.
then again, whoever has played for City in that position has managed to fill in those shoes really well. I mean, Real Madrid do have a more traditional number nine in
Yeah.
Benzema, but
Yeah.
even City, I mean, whoever plays. Also, I think City, I favor slightly City to go through this one
Yeah.
because as good as Madrid have been, they have been very, very lucky in both their games. Like even against
Yeah.
PSG, mistakes from Donnarumma and
Yeah.
Marquinhos. I think it was Marquinhos, but Donnarumma definitely, conceded them two goals. And again
Yeah.
against Chelsea, I mean, they got completely outclassed by Chelsea in the first half.
Yeah.
It was in the second half that they made up for the lost ground. So I think I'm going to go with City this one in
Mm.
an all English finals for the
Yet again,
Champions League.
huh? Yet again an all English final, and we are talking about these two big European giants. You saw that in the last week's clash as well when City came up against Liverpool. Everybody wanted that contest to be played again. Of course, they got the better of them in the FA Cup semi-final, but can it be once again Jurgen Klopp versus Pep Guardiola in a big Champions League final or not?
Yes, I think that is what it's going to be because even though Cancelo is suspended and Walker picked up a really bad injury, the depth in the City squad is too much, and
Yeah.
anyone can fill in for them. So I think it's going to be Guardiola's season this time, and
Oh
it's
wow.
going to be Chelsea. Sorry, it's going to be Man City versus Liverpool.
Wow. Well, I mean, it'll be one hell of a final. And of course, we'll be waiting for that. And talking about that, you can play all these contests with us on Boomer11 because it's totally free to play. Do not forget to sign up and play every match on it. And you can win some exciting prizes as well. Why would you miss out on that when you're getting to test your fantasy skills for absolutely free of cost? And do not forget, follow our Instagram page. We'll be putting up some crazy memes out there, some funny ones, and some fantasy predictions as well. And subscribe to our YouTube channel where we put in content regarding IPL, Champions League, and of course, watch our podcast completely, which will be more and more exciting in the coming days. Thank you.